Hello, this is another session. Not working today, so I can take my time. I won't be so rushed feeling like the other video. I'm carrying on with the mech here, so I've not done very much to it in the last few days. And you'll see the same principles I'm applying to this one. So it's going to work in the front shin here. Better just to take it like that. Let's get rid of this bit. What am I doing? Right, open import. The good thing about retopology is I can maybe decide a bit better the way I want everything to look. Like from this mesh. Go up here, up to about there. And now what I will do is do split rings here. And put some faces, just drag this corner up so I've got a kind of miter. That. Yeah. Just struggling to find the face sometimes. There we go. Dum da dum da dum dum dum. And I don't want to put the kneecap in, I want this part to be kind of underneath. I'm not too sure of like mechanically how it's going to work. And I'll just use this as, you know, practice for those things, because I've never did something mechanical and you don't want all the bits rubbing against each other, because then it would be all bent and stuff if it just moves like one limb. So I kind of be a little bit messy here with the topology. I could be a lot tidier with it, but this isn't the final topology of the model, because this is just to make the part cleaner, and then once the part's been made a lot cleaner, then I'll have the whole model made all these nice parts that I can then retopologize the full model. And I can break it down into other more parts. Sometimes you just have to drag these verts closer to get what you want. Right, so I'll just kind of finish it off like this. You see I've got this kind of bit here, I don't really want that there, so I could just like delete edges and stuff, and delete that edge, go to points and faces and drag that around. Oops. Couple points here, there, one there, one there. Okay. So again, kind of want to do this miter thing here, so I'll drag that down. I'm not too worried that I'm losing some definition here. I can get it back doing these edge loop things. What I'm doing here is just making a mess, just to show you that it's quite easy just to go in and, you know, delete the edges and it'll clean it up. Let's say I don't want the miter there. If I delete that, it's going to take these two faces away, I think. Nope, it's just made an n-gon. So again, you need to avoid things like that. I'm just going to do split rings around the edge here, and it would probably make a mess here. So undo that. That's because it's not really flowing. So if I delete that polygon, points and faces, and I just connect these two edges up like that and bring that back down. Do split rings. That should flow all the way around like that. And it should start to tie up the mesh a bit better as well as I put more divisions in. So I'm just putting these divisions in to get it like a better looking topology. Like I might want extra. Put a couple extra ones here for a hard edge. There. Same here, a couple of extra ones for the hard edge. One across there. One here, one here. Put one here because you can see all that appearing. And I'll put an extra one round, no, an extra couple there. This means I can tighten those up a bit better when it comes back to Zbrush. Let's get another one in here. An alternative to this is you take it into Maya and you select, you know, these edges you want to harden up, but I found that I want maybe a few round about it as well, like, you know, just so it kind of tapers off a little bit. So this is the way I'm going to do it from now on. Right, get an extra one in there and there. So it's kind of like his shin guard I've made. I could keep dividing it if I want, but I'm going to divide it when I take it back into Zbrush. And like I said, this isn't the final part, it's because there's way too many polys. I'm going to redo the whole model, like use this topology method on the whole model made of all these refined parts. So it's kind of like a process where I start with a rough mesh and I make all these parts until I've got the full mesh made of all these good parts. Then I retopologize the full model using this method, and then I can really pick at the design then for animation and really go, you know, does that part work, or that part collide with this part, etc. So here I want to go to the retopo and export. Just choose the export file there. Right, so I've exported that one out and back into ZBrush, and I should be able to import Import is there. Okay. Import the export, and you can see it's brought that in. I'm just going to edit my little quick menu here. So I've got preferences, interface, sorry, config, enable, customize, and I'll open my quick menu and drop it because I want mRGB dragged in, if it will let me. Yeah, just want to drag that in somewhere in here. A little quick menu. What else will I take in? Bring RGB in as well. And I hate it when it gives you these and doesn't make copies of them. It means I'm not allowed to use them. You can see I've just overlapped it completely. That's how clanky it is. Right, so I can't really do it with those. I need to leave those there. I was wanting it in my little quick menu, but tough luck. Right, so I've got my part here. I'm just going to have a look. You see it's just replaced that bit I was working on, which is great. That's what I want, is just put it in its place. And I can go ahead and do a subtool master on it. Turn solo off, you can see those. First thing I want to do is fill it with the correct colour so it shows up correct here, and then I want to divide it a couple of times. I'll just Alt and Tab just like this guy, and then I can smooth it out, get rid of some of it, or I can draw inward. Whatever suits. Right, so it's just basic just now. He's got more geometry where I need it to sharpen those areas up. So if I do some pinching here, that's if it lets me even select. I'm trying to do the Alt and Tap thing. There we go, it's starting to work now, I think. There we go. Make sure I've got symmetry back on. I can pinch those parts up and start to use the hard brush to get the effect that I want. So the question is, why am I not, doing all this stuff on the main mesh? And it's really because I can work better in these subtools, and if you solo them off, your screen works a lot better. So I can divide these right up to a couple of million, and then I've got the ability to add more detail into these guys without worrying about my performance. Just a lot of little things that might not matter to you just now, but they'll matter later on, because they never used to matter to me until now. Now that I'm getting serious about my designs. Okay, so one thing I did make, I made a custom alpha. If I can import that, I have no idea where I put it, mind you. I'm hoping it's still kicking around my desktop or something. So if I can guess where it is. No. It's basically the little logo that I'd made on his arm there. I basically want that. I want that again to use, but I don't know what the hell I've done with it. So I could go ahead and just, you know, do a screen grab or something if I remember how to do that. And I think it's something grabber. Where is it? MRGBZ grabber. It might be that. I'll just switch tools here. Yeah, switch. 2 seconds, maybe the screen record. Right, okay, so I've just did a drag box round this here, and it's gave me this, and it's gave me this depth thing, this depth alpha. So not exactly what I need, but I can mess around with the alpha now. Let's see, I'll just drop this panel, and I can modify it. I can modify the intensity and the contrast. And I'm close to it, close enough to it anyway that I can refine it a bit. Right, so that's me got an alpha, and oops, I'm still grabbing. Oh, another hiccup there. How annoying, how annoying, how annoying. Right, where is it? Give me this. Do it again. Value, intensity, contrast. Okay, so let's say that. Just wonder where the hell it goes when I've worked on it. You know, like that's there. That's it. All set up. Now choose my tool again. Drag it out. Press T. And I think I'm still in this subtool. Yeah. And now I can choose the alpha. Drag rectangle, standard brush, drag rectangle, alpha, and the bugger's reset itself, so that's okay. I can just muck about with these again. So just bring the intensity down and the contrast a bit. That'll do it. There's not enough definition just now, so I'll just divide again. Right, so geometry and divide. A couple of times, and there you go. I'm getting the logo back now. It's just not emphasised the way I want it to be, so I can mess about with the alpha a bit more. So that's what you do if you ever lose your little emblem thing, and you can always MGZ grab it and turn that back into something. A couple of folk were concerned that all this was all joined and there wasn't really any mechanism here that made all this move, and were wondering if it was like a malleable metal or something, which is a fair point, because it looks like he's going to be stuck, you know, nothing's going to move here, so all this needs redesigned. It's just stuff that I didn't think about. Like I thought about this here, which is fine, but then is this going to tuck in underneath that? You know, is this going to get dragged along with it? Does that flap there? Does it go back? You know, all these parts all hinged. So all these questions I was asking myself as I was making it, and it's really just a showpiece, to be honest. Like, it's like having a concept full of all the ideas that I want, and then just picking bits that I like and making it work. Like here, I would split this part here and put some kind of mechanism behind it, so that he could move his leg around, and I would get rid of some parts here so that if he did bring his knee up, then it wouldn't interfere with this, or that wouldn't jag into it, you know, or that was made of something else like cloth or something. But all these things I need to consider later, because it's really just a design I've not thought about. So sometimes that's the way it goes when you work backwards, like without any concept art. Well, this is the concept art, put it that way, but it's not been thought about very much. But as long as you still, you know, think about it later, type of thing. I'm going to use the clip curve here. This is quite a cool one to use. This gives me a really nice edge. I really want to just work on one side though when using this, so I would choose my lasso and get rid of this. And make sure symmetry's off. Just delete hidden. Doesn't like subdivision levels. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to work on like the one side when I'm using the clipping brush, and you'll see it's got like a shaded area. I'm using the Alt key to tap, by the way, and then it cuts away. It just flattens everything though. It's not really a cutting tool, so if you want a cutting tool, it's better to use the slice curve. Oh, once again I've got multiple division levels. So if I just start to that, it's partially hidden, oh my god. So I'll just do the delete hidden command. It's saying that it should be hidden because I've deleted it already. Sorry, but every time it comes up a message I have to pause the video because it doesn't let me just tap and it goes away. So it's really frustrating. But that's the nature of Zbrush when you start to hog video memory using screen records. No wonder Navarji has nightmares with it. So you can see it's divided into two poly groups here. It means I can just select one and then select it again and delete the hidden. And that way I've got a nice cut instead of it being flattened. So it's a good way of like trimming stuff to that effect. So let's say I want to make this symmetrical. Doesn't matter what way the shading goes here, because at the end of the day it's going to be cut away anyway. So if I get into polyframe, I'll see that part. If I do shift and control and tap again, it's now hidden. And then if I do the delete hidden command, then that's it gone. Okay, so let's see how that looks. That looks a bit better. But here I don't really know what I'm trying to do. I just want to get some kind of rough shape. And sometimes the brushes, they stay the same, so I need to reset the brushes. Otherwise they don't act the way I expect them to. Right, sorry, I'm kind of chatting to someone. I'm screen recording and I'm using Zbrush. It's a real pain in the butt that I'm doing all these things at the one time, but that's just typical. I'm like a total multitasker. I like to do too much at the same time. So you can see I'm getting some design ideas just by experimenting. And look how messed up that's gone there. That's quite crazy. I've never seen all this crap happen before. So I can smooth it out here, but I'm not happy why it's doing all that. And it could have been when it was cut that it's done that. So I could go ahead and try and clip it or something, or do this like lasso and just you know, hide it away, like do that and then do delete hidden. But look at all this raggedy bit here. So I might even choose to retopologize it. So delete hidden there. Smoothing it off or something. Divide again. So it does help to know what you're trying to make beforehand, because this is totally arse from elbow. Like I've did this this rough mesh at first and put all this on it, and I need to work over it again and again. But it's kind of a learning curve. It's kind of like saying, right, you know, do everything the long way first, do everything the wrong way, and then learn from it, learn a workflow from it. This isn't really teaching you guys anything apart from how to do it the wrong way, but it's a process, it's a learning process. So my mind's probably thinking, right, how are these parts going to move together? You know, is this part swing on its own hinge? Shouldn't it be further out and all this stuff? So as I'm doing all these little things, I'm realising in my mind I should have redesigned this a different way, you know. And that's what I want. I want to use this maquette, if you like, just to get a feel of the tools and everything. This isn't final at all. This is more like practice and understanding. And it's not like I'm under pressure to get this right first time. I'm under pressure to get it right, but I have no time limit. Therefore I can mess around like this. You can see I'm just trying to work out some kind of design feature on the side there. I'm using a mixture of pinch and the hard brush, H polish. But I'm still not convinced about these edges. So I'm going to use some lazy mouse and a little bit of inflate around the edges. Again, for another bit of design practice, you know, to see what works, what tools I can use here that are working for me. Okay, so apart from Zbrush being a little tricky to use at first, like, well, sorry, a big bit tricky to use at first, there's also, you know, I'm getting all these ideas in my head of what to use next and what to do next and connect this bit to this bit and all this stuff. I'm tempted to move these up as well. Just try and move. Oops. Yep. Move these up and out. Over like that. Ooh. Move elastic is a pretty funky move tool, but it's really, really delicate. So that's roughly what I want there. Move topological is really memory intensive, but it does a really good job. Sometimes it takes a while to drag things around. And as I drag this circle, it distorts it all as well, but again, it's nothing final. This is still part of the process of how this guy looks in the end. You know, and people are asking, you know, how's this going to work and that's going to work, and I'm still not sure because I'm not sure of the overall design of them. So there's no point me putting a big cog in here and saying, right, his leg will move like that, and then I might decide in a minute his legs aren't going to do anything, I'm going to turn his legs into something else completely. Depends on what one I'm doing, because he's got this big jetpack at the back, and I'm thinking, what if, you know, he just hovered about the place, or what if he was on like a tread, like one of these kind of you know, with the wheels and the tracks going round it, the 3 wheels, and that was just his lower body. So I might look into something like that, as opposed to have him walking around. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be like a guy who fits in this part here and controls the whole thing. The whole thing's about 5 humans tall. Yep. So that's another thing out of the way. Quite happy with the way that looks. It means if I retopologize these as parts again, then they're more unique looking now. Whereas I couldn't have did that with this mesh. It would have been messy trying to get in behind things and all that. Whereas I've done it in these parts and gradually made them into something. Because if you look at the mech itself now, the base mesh, you can see it's just a blob of different crap going on now. It used to look a lot different, but as I've made these parts and pushed these parts in, it's looking better now, I think. Okay, so the next part I'll work on his calf, and I'll just do this whole back section here. So I'll duplicate his body, and I'll work with the symmetry off. We'll lasso this part. Go into solo. I can toggle solo as well just to see what I don't need. Need that, and I'll take it down to this line here, just to where his ankle is. I don't need this whole front part here. Oops. Okay, so I know what I'm having to topologize now. So press A and delete hidden, and then export. I'll save that as my temporary object. Back into 3DCoat, and then I'll just new file, new, continue, and open import reference mesh. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video just now, and then I'll continue in another part, so it doesn't take too long to upload to YouTube. I'll catch you guys in the next part. Cheers, thanks for watching.